Hey guys, what's up? It's Fariz and welcome to another video. Today I've got something that I usually don't review on this channel. It's a graphics tablet. The one I've got today is the Wacom Intuos S or the Wacom Intuos Small, whichever name you prefer. So let's delve into how this thing performs. This is Ahmad. His passion is drawing and he listens to music in his leisure time. If that sounds any bit like you, you'll definitely like today's sponsor, Multimedia Kingdom. They provide all sorts of graphic tablets for all sorts of users, whether you're an aspiring artist looking to go digital or someone that has been in the profession for a long time. They've got tons of brands such as Wacom, Huion, and XP Pen, just to name a few. If drawing isn't your thing, they also have all sorts of music and sound related products, whether that be headphones or speakers or novelty items for some of you audiophiles. This year is their Sweet 16, and if you guys need anything related to digital art and sound, please check them out with the link in the description below. With that being said, let's delve into the review. So here is the Wacom Intuos S. Mine is the Bluetooth model. This is a direct approach towards people on a budget looking to get into digital painting, photo editing, or basically anything that comes to mind when you think about a graphics tablet, which I'll be going over in a bit. There are three models of this tablet: the Intuos Medium Bluetooth, the Intuos Small Bluetooth, and the Intuos Small Regular, which doesn't have any Bluetooth functions. So let's start with the unboxing of this tablet. It's got a nice artsy box in which you'll find the tablet, a manual, and a Wacom pen. What I like is that Wacom sends you straight to their website from the manual, and you can then download the latest drivers for the smoothest experience possible. You even get to choose 2 different creative applications from 3 different options depending on your creative vision and requirements. Professionals won't be using this, so I think it's good for beginners to have a little engagement with this and some proper apps just to get you started. Do note that I will only be talking about my experience with this in Photoshop, Illustrator, and Lightroom. Now onto the pen. The pen provided with my model is a Wacom Pen 4K. This pen utilizes electromagnetic resonance, or EMR, and these Wacom EMR pens never need batteries, as they are powered wirelessly from the magnetic field generated by the sensor. This means that a Wacom EMR pen will not be subject to downtime in the field or require costly consumables to manage. It's honestly pretty innovative, and I like this combined with the wireless capabilities of the tablet itself. More on that later. The pen is 0.39 ounces or 11.2 grams, which is really light. It's about 5.64 inches long and about 0.47 inches in diameter. It's got 3 standard nibs included in the back, which you can access by twisting open the compartment in the back. It's got 2 buttons on the side, which I've remapped to click and right click for simplicity's sake. It's got the name 4K because of the 4096 levels of sensitivity towards pressure. Its 7mm low reading, high linearity, and weight balance calibration deliver better precision and control, enabling you to glide across the tablet like a pen on paper. It is made of soft plastic, which does not feel cheap at all, which is a great feature considering how it's really hard to make something light not feel cheap. It's usable by both right-handed and left-handed users, so that's great. It's made only for newer Intuos creative pen tablets. This pen reads at 133 points per second, and you can either get standard, flex, or felt nibs in packs of 5. I don't think you'll need to buy it right away since the 3 nibs should last you about 3 to 4 weeks of rough use. Now onto the tablet itself. You can get it in one of 3 colors: black, berry, and pistachio green. The design is very sleek and light. It comes in at 8.8 millimeters. At its widest, it's got a very smooth finish on the surface, has a tab on the back for your pen. There are 4 express keys, and they're all customizable in the Wacom application. The weight of the tablet itself is 8.8 ounces or about 250 grams, which is extremely light. The tiny little things that I love about this tablet are the right-angled cable. It's about 1.5 meters, which is pretty okay for all intents and purposes, and if you need more select, you can always go wireless if your PC supports it, or if you use a Bluetooth dongle. The pen is very comfortable, and I didn't get tired of it over the multiple hours that I've used this tablet. I love the ergonomics on this tablet and the pen, but there is one gripe that I have with this tablet, and that's the position of the express keys. They're on the top of the tablet, and it's quite awkward to reach for them with my left hand while I'm drawing on my right. I need to take my right hand off of drawing, which I don't mind, but I feel like it's less spontaneous compared to other tablets that have them on the left. The express keys together form a sort of concave surface where your pen can rest for a little bit while you do something else, which is a really nice feature as well. Now onto connectivity. It uses a micro USB cable to charge and connect to your PC or Mac. It's got a non-removable lithium-ion battery built in, and considering its size, the whopping 15 hours of battery life is pretty great. It's more than enough for a regular user. Do take this with a grain of salt though, because battery life numbers aren't always really accurate. It takes 3.5 hours to charge, and when it comes to Bluetooth, it uses Bluetooth 4.2. The active area on the small version is 6 inches by 3.7 inches, and on the medium it's 8.5 inches by 5.3 inches. It took an hour or so for me to familiarize myself with the smaller work surface, but I got used to it as my hands aren't very large. So if you have large hands, definitely get the medium version. It's also more ergonomically suited for everyone, small hands or large. The reason being, it can be a bit awkward to perform some tasks on the Intuos S, such as reaching the taskbar, but once you use it for a while, it kind of fades away and doesn't bother you as much. The resolution of the Intuos S and M is the same, coming in at 2540 lines per inch. I haven't mentioned the price because the graphical tablet market in Bangladesh is very unsteady and prices rise and drop sharply. Check the price at your region in the present time. You can contact Multimedia Kingdom if you're in Bangladesh, or whatever store you have in your country that sells such items. Now that we're done with the specs and overview, let's talk about my real-world experience using this tablet. I'm a newcomer to this platform, and so far the Intuos has been very straightforward and easy to use. So far I've used a mouse for digital art and a basic pen and ton of Copics for normal drawing, but as it gets more and more expensive, digital seemed to be the right direction to head in. So with that being said, let's begin with Photoshop. The tiny workspace made it pretty hard to keep the proportions consistent in my drawing, and it ended up looking really weird on my first try. So on my second try, I'd already seen a much larger improvement, and by my third time, I was already starting to feel much more comfortable and confident. The pen tool was very intuitive, and so were the brush settings, but definitely look into some brush presets to download if you want to make full use of the 4096 pressure levels and work on a complex project. My art style is pretty messy, and I use a lot of lines, and I don't tidy it up until the very end. And throughout my rough use, the tablet has seen a fair bit of abuse, and I have to say there are a few scuff marks, but nothing too serious, and considering this isn't a display and you're not going to be looking at it anyways, it's totally fine. As far as the tablet goes, it wasn't lagging in any way, and I feel like this tablet wasn't holding me back in this regard. A quick note on Lightroom, it's pretty useful sometimes when I'm working with color curves, incrementally increasing or decreasing the amounts, but it's a bit hard with the base sensitivity, but you will get used to it pretty quick. If you wish to play Osu and do nothing else, you don't need this tablet. There are way cheaper options, but I still tried it, and initially it gave me a weird glitch where the sensor wouldn't move from the top left, but that's just a problem with the raw input. If you guys turn that off, it'll work just fine, and that actually happens with every single tablet that I've tested. To conclude, there isn't really much to complain about when it comes to this Intuos, other than a few minor inconveniences, which I think are really easy to work around. I wish that the small version was a tad bit larger, but then again, you do have the larger medium version, which I will recommend to most people. And if you're a little bit tight on your budget, you can definitely consider the small version as well, because both of them are really good deals. I still do like the attention to detail in some parts, but I wish that they'd pay just as much attention to things that actually mattered more. However, I can easily recommend it to anyone on a budget that wants to join the Wacom ecosystem or just wants to start somewhere in the digital art realm. Though there are some cheaper options that perform almost just as well, but it is going to be very hard for any third-party tablet to beat the Wacom Intuos. But that's enough for today, and I'll see all you beautiful people in the next one.